So hey all, this is Teretrix Wargaming. I'm sorry I haven't been able to upload a video quite recently, but that is due to me having college and a bunch of assignments coming up, and I want to get those done before I make another video. But I have got half term rising up, so that's a good time to quickly hop over and make a couple of videos. So let's start off with my Imperial Fist Force Update 1. This is all my Imperial Fist Force now being done. Now, a lot of these models are for stripping, or just look really bad because they're old. And we're going to start off with Captain Lysander. So I got this model about 2 years ago and painted him on the spot for a competition. And you can see how he hasn't gone well with the weather of my modeled army. You can see splodges, thick painting. But I don't know if I should strip him or keep him in this so I can always know what I should do. And you can see actually that we used to always do the basing around about the same with trying to make it toxic. That was Astro Debris and Caliban Green tactic, I think, yeah. But parchment and stuff I try to do well. This is when I was told by my teacher to use Cassandorian yellow, and I advise you never to use Cassandorian yellow. It is one of the worst shades from Imperial Fists. Well, my judgment. I'd say you should use Sepia Sepia or just Abaddon Black. Looks nicer. So now let's move over to my first ever squad I made. So I've got squad markings on my units. Still, one of them's not even painted, but he'll be slowly painted when I've got the spare time to do it. If you can pick up on the camera, that would be grand. You can see here. This guy isn't supposed to be in this squad, but I've just put him in it because that's the 5-man. Actually, no wait, this squad has been done. I was just being silly. No, it hasn't been done. The other guy's just a Lance Corporal. So you can see that's the squad there. And they've got the squad marking of that backpack on their backs. So probably painted this model about a year and a half ago. And then I adopted this new helmet design for sergeants, which would be both a black and red colour. And I try to make my own rules about these guys, but you can see this is when my lead vulture was working alright, until now my lead vulture just died, so I might need to buy a new one. You can see that I've never ever had fun in painting faces, like eyes and stuff. I hate that. But you can see I've tried to add squad markings in, so the black around the crest in the middle. I've got the black up here, showing which squad they're part of. And then the terrain is on, I just used blue tack, went over with a little knife and squiggled out. You can find that on my basing video episode 1, which will just be up here right now. And that was a simple one. That's a speed painting one, but it turns out really nice if you've got the skills. If I did it now, it would probably turn out much nicer, but it would take a longer time to do. So I'm going to put the model that I've already painted just behind this. So we've got this guy here, just a normal intercessor. I think these guys are all from the easy to build set, or just because I was just given a 5-man team, so like, okay. Or it's from the Dark Imperium, one or the other. But you can just see he just stands alone looking like that. Now you think, this works really nicely for creating a weathered look on a miniature, and you can see he's got his blue eyes there. You can see it more prominently on that. Yeah. It is an old miniature, which I love these guys to bits, they look really nice for me. I am no competition standard person. I do commissions, but I'm no competition standard person. This is another one, so you can see this one, I think, yeah, he went out a bit blotchy on this rifle, you can see that quite easily there. So yeah, now what I did was I probably got some Abaddon Black in my pot, and mixed by accident with some lead vulture. Everyone's done that at least once. So you can see he's got the same squad markings as all of them, but this one is a field medic. Now everyone's like, ooh, you can't have field medics. Go away. I like this, and as Chapter Master Valor accent, it's a rule of cool. And I like creating this small lore where there are medics in the battlefield. When there's apothecary, these guys have just to stabilise them when the apothecary will save them. So that's these guys. You can always just see them by the red on top of their head. And we just got a normal intercessor. This one's a lance corporal though, so you can see from the black helmet. So in case a sergeant dies, he will be used in combat. And I just noticed. Nope, nothing. Yeah, because they're old, they just gain a lot of dust. So yeah. There it is. I say it looks rather nice. And here's this guy. So I'm trying to paint him in how I painted those guys a couple of years ago. So I'm painting it really badly. Me trying to cover up me being bad. Trying to paint them really badly so I can fit in with that squad. And then there's just another lance corporal from another squad that hasn't been done yet, which is a bit of a shame. So now we move over to our plasma gunners. I've only made 3 of these guys, but these are the more high quality guys. These are weathered to bits, men. Click see on the squad. I'll start off with their sergeant. There we go, there's a sergeant. On this, my phone auto sharpens, but he isn't as yellowy white as he seems. But I love this model to bits. He took me a long time, and I tried to add so much realistic dirt and to have more dirt on his back, so that when he's running, and to have from the plasma pistols, coils, to not be fully taken over by dirt, because you can still see plasma probably through dirt, and to make it look more into the terrain. I love this model to bits, I said before, and many people have asked me why do I still have this. Like, I forgot what it was for, but that's a heavy plasma gun. I just like the look of it. Nothing about it. No strategic operation from it. I just like the look of it. And then it gives me an extra say saying, oh, there's an adapter that they could go through the air, and it's a stronger one now. Depending on what my teammate wants depending on what my teammate wants me to do. Then we got just a normal stand issue Lance Corporal. He's just standing there bold like, oh, nothing's gonna get past me. And did run out of those bits, so I'm gonna have to blue stuff some more onto it. Actually, I'll get a video soon about blue stuffing items. So there we go. And there's always dog hairs in this, because if you've ever had dogs, you can have the pain that I have of hair everywhere. And this is a model I entered for a competition. You can see I've chipped parts away from him by accident lately. But this is my field medic. As you can probably see right there, that's the field medic pouch. And it's the ironic irony of he's half dead. It's got a skull pointing out of him. I'll tell you, I hate making skulls like that. They've taken me about... I've gone for about 3 skulls just trying to create something like that. Hate it. Move over, he's got a bolt pistol pointing over, very broad, like, oh, let's take him out, Commander. And then this guy's like, yes. Yes. Releasing my inner child here. And we'll put those guys there. So now let's move over to our aggressor squad. This is, see, all of these guys I mainly got for my first ones. So I'll put them in like dates at the end when I got everything. So that's my little aggressors. And this one I tried out, I don't know why, but I tried out how marker pens would work on it. Never do marker pens on miniatures. It's ugly and just... No. I used to be able just to wipe it off. No, you can't, look. A little yellow part there. But you can see, this is when I was still using, I think it's Evil Sin Scarlet, or, what's the other red? It's not Corn Red, it's the other one. This guy I actually did for a basing video, so you will remember him, he's from that basing video episode 1. So he's ramming into an enemy, and I've got the Dark Elder put somewhere. I'll move over to this guy firstly. So he's got the blood there, and right now, as I've lost a Dark Elder, I might put another miniature in place. So, for example, just get like stuff like this and just go, "Urgh." Just make it a heretic Cadian unit. But you can see they're quite simply done. Easy, they're just a speed painting, but they look nice. So, I have nothing against them. You can see dust has built up on them because I don't play games. So move them over to there. There's the other guy. These these squads will not contain any lance corporals, but just contain a single sergeant. As I don't believe they should need a lance corporal, they are not big enough. But here we go. You can see he's got his flamers set up. Gotta say, Gravis armor I love so much. And I tried out, that's my glowing effect I've tried out. Tell me if you like it. I'll put maybe a poll up here, maybe or maybe not, if I'm lazy or not. But tell me if you like that glowing effect, because I really like it. Back up there. Then we got this guy, still unbased. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, we'll do... You see the base is just a sword right now. It's just a Chaos Demon sword. Why the hell is that not coming out there? So that's the easy to fit bases. We've got Hobble, I'm now going to call him. He's a sergeant of a squad. He's got the two flamers, got a nice crest on there. This guy actually, I don't like as much as look compared to this guy who has the exact same pose basically. But I need to wait for him to be painted and then I'll probably like him more. Now, because I'm an armoured force, it would be very wrong for me not to have any armour in my army. And I will talk about that in a minute because I have not gone over my captains. So, taking off his back right now. That is very difficult because he's so high up. That is my captain. He is in a very tall base because he needs to have a tall stature to inform everyone of where to go. I've done further weathering on him recently by using resin, even on the model, to create toxic balls spewing out of him. Remember, they are not Nurgle, they're just fighting Nurgle. We got a little Cadian unit that died here. This was actually just the plastic from the GW box I went over with Astro Granite, dug some holes into it, and then put Watchman Glow. If anyone's got Watchman Glow, please, just send me a private message on Discord. They don't sell it anymore. Or the Avalon Sunset spray paint. They don't sell them anymore. I'm really sad for that. But you can see, he's got his nice stature, and it's auto boater because he ignores cover saves. And just love the look of these guys so much. After weathering a miniature, they do look much nicer into that environment, and I think they fit the persona of fortify and defend. So let's chuck that on. There. So there's his cape. His cape you think is very clunky looking, but that's because I blue stuffed it. And I just whacked the phone. And that guy will be seen in a second. That is my tank, and if I just put the cannon on top of it. You might remember this from my Panzer III conversion. That went horrible. But here he is. He's been weathered a bit since that. And where the damage was done with the blue stuff and not Pritt Stick, but super glue, I have put in and replaced it with much nicer items. He's still got his exhausts at the back, but I am planning to make a proper Panzer III, like buy an actual Panzer III and fit it in with laser guns, because that would be easier. There we go. I'm going to do a teeny bit of stories about these tanks and why I love them so much. So now I'm moving over to the next one. Infantry Support one. Because I'm a cheapskate, I am not buying those repulsors. And my intercessors can get into these tanks. I'll always try and agree with my teammate about that, because I can't afford a £45 troop carrier. When, if you've seen the new pricing, it's a bit silly. Could just be me, but it seems a bit silly. There. This one's got a couple of battle damage on the back. You can see it's been shelled here. And is there any more battle damage? It's probably all at the front, isn't it? Yes, it is, Matthew. Yeah, a bit of chipping on that side there. And yeah, I think that's, now you got a bit more chipping down here. That's it. Oh, and a bit more chipping here. But that one I put some more actual battle damage in. And I find this Rhino, as well as the other one, they both look really nice and fit the terrain they're in. Now moving over to my big boy. This one I'm going to have to hold the camera up for this. So if it's shaking, I am sorry. I'll try my hardest on not shaking. So that's my Redemptor Dreadnought. And I love it to bits. Because Redemptor Dreadnoughts are amazing. Okay, don't know what that is, but okay. You've got a modular arm here, so that could be taken off. He was a non-easy to fit one because I got him in an Imperial 5th Supremacy Force. You can see. He's got a trench line showing where they've been battling. Looks like he's falling over. And I got very sad because I was on a stream and I said, "Hey, Chapter Master Valorak, look what it is." I didn't know what chapter it was. You know what was this thing here? Not a true Imperial Fist, I see. Just kidding, he's an amazing Imperial Fist player. But this guy took a long time, and then took an even longer time with the weathering. So that was fun. I get the plasma gun. Try out a glowing effect with it as well. Put that back, and I'm gonna get both my drop pod and this tank here. This is just a Rhino. Don't think it hasn't fully been spray painted, so I'm having to buy a new airbrush for him and then spray paint over it. So there we go. And that is just my go of making a Primaris tank with the addition of a dual lance cannon. And it's my anti-aircraft system with its dual lance cannon. There's just one Primaris guy. That's one of them. And I got really irritated when painting him, so I gave up. And that's the problem with most of this army. If I get irritated with painting a miniature, I will just give up for a long time and then go, "Oh, I should probably repaint him." But you can see, there he is. Done all the whites on him and done some of the red. As no significant character, he won't have any red on him. Flip him down there. Here's another guy, only metal and white started on him. So it's exactly like the other guy. And there's just his little thermal packed bit in there. Last but not least of the guys that have been started to paint on would be this guy who I've just done that green part there. He's just an intercessor. I need to anyway get 3 morphed easy to build intercessors for my squads. Now we'll be moving over to my specialised intercessors. These are intercessors that have been given specific roles for combatant missions. But these are all plastic still. You're not part of that squad. Why did you end up there? Huh. One of these guys are an infidel. Okay, there. Hello. So this is my squad, and you can see a correlation. All of them, they all have helmet. They all have no helmets. Because God, who likes helmets? I hate painting skin, but I liked having a host squad just like this. So I think that's the sergeant. Yeah, this is the sergeant of the squad, and he's just a generic reloading. I should probably hollow that out, shouldn't I, beforehand? But he's just generically reloading, and he's got a couple of spare magazines there. And there's not that much about him. He's not a guy I kit bashed much onto. So move over to there. I'll move over to this guy instead, actually. So you'd probably think this guy's the sergeant. Nope, he's just the lance corporal. And he's got his fist up high. The Imperial fisting fist. Designated only to the Imperial fists. And his bolt pistol aiming down. So it looks rather nice. That guy. And then we got this the guy, Auto Boater. He's going Rambo style. It's like, if you get close, I will split you. I don't know Rambo's voice, and I'm going mad in this video. Because he's got his knife up, and he's got his Auto Boater, and just standing in a quite defensive position, waiting for the hordes. We've got another reloading guy, but instead this guy's an ammo bearer. You can notice from him having the heavy ammo belt there, reloading and having 3 magazines. But most significantly, heresy-studded pads mean they're ammo bearers in my army. It is a designation for every single soldier. And we got another guy just with an auto boater pointing out there's enemies there. You may notice a lot of them contain auto boaters because I just ignore cover. So that's where these guys strive. Now moving over to my next intercessor force, that isn't that different to the rest of them. This will be my not reconnaissance, but my what do I call it, HQ maybe. And he's got a hair. HQ squad. So these guys are supplying all the vehicles. So right now in this formation they look really ugly because they need to be on bases. But I'll move them over to here for now, but show you each one off. Starting off, of course, with their sergeant. He is basically a tech guy. He's got his Stalker boat rifle right behind him, and he's just going to tell the rest of the team, oh, we need to move 50 clicks this way and get ready to supply those tanks with better ammunition or just to fuel them up. And let's think. This guy here is the Lance Corporal. He's screaming whilst firing his bolt pistol off, chucking his helmet. Now I ran out of shoulder pads midway when doing this, so let's put an aggressor pad on him. But I think it looks quite well, having the aggressor pad. Might just sand it down a bit more, though. So I'll put him over to there, put that guy there. Then we got a fuel boy. He's just running over with some heavy ammunition, just to quickly chuck into a vehicle. Those were the grenade belts, so it's HMG rounds. And as well, he's got another Stalker boat rifle. You can see these guys have the correlation in their squad of a lot more Stalker boat rifles or just pistols. So I think altogether we've got 3 pistols in that single squad. So then we have this ammo bearer who's got his book, but instead of having a bunch of clips, he's just got that on his back, and he's just got just a bunch of heavy ammunition because the only main gunner in their team is this guy. Because he's got grenade launcher, heavy bolter. He's a bit overkill, isn't he? If I move them together. So he looks a bit silly right now, but you can see he's got that Imperial fist part. He's got that grenade belt. And he's just there. I've done that, so it's easier to paint them when you like this. And then he's just got the normal parts on the back. And he looks really messed up because his arms are down there. We're getting close to the end of my army now. Well, the first bit of my army. So now these will be specialised units like Gravis Army Gravis units and so on. Ugh. These are my HQ units. Ugh. Forge World, yes. So they do need to be green stuffed a bit, but they'll have their shields. I'm blue stuffing them. Their helmets, not the rest of it, because their helmets, I've got to say, those are nice. And I am going to start a pre-heresy army for Death Guard, the Imperial Death Guard part. So you can see they're quite well organised, and if I can say, which one's the sergeant? No, that's not the sergeant, but that's their banner carrier. That's just a normal foot soldier. So I'm guessing that's the sergeant here. Just with nothing on his helmet. They are quite cool, these. And they're nice how they do fit onto the units. All the backpacks, of course, won't be added in until they're made. The other one's basically exactly the same as him, apart from this guy. So he's got the nice banner on the back, showing their Imperial fists, showing what part of the army they are. And I had to add that in because that's super cool, isn't it? Yeah, just because that's what designation they are. They have the Imperial fist insignia there, and as well the fisting shield. with a little skull. Because what's Warhammer without skulls? Then we got a little aggressor boy. There he is, heavy stubbers. He's got some more DACA. So I'm actually going to buy 3 more Gravis, Three more Gravis, easy to fit squads because I need more flamers in my squads. You can see he's got blades on the front of him. And funny thing, I actually did his leg incorrect. So this guy's got this leg. This guy should have had his leg. But I won't die because of it. You can see he's got... These guys are very heavy. So these are the anti-tank, anti-infantry units, when these guys would just be anti-infantry. And the other guy, almost not made. I'm checking him over there. What else do I have left? So I'll do another video, my tactical marine army, but finishing it off with these guys, my Conquest magazine units. There's his backpack. These guys won't have their backpacks on. So here we go. So he's just got the skull. You've probably seen this guy before, so I'll quickly just go around him. There. And his base has been done for him, which is this. So we'll just plop him down like that. You can remember that's the old captain base, but there's no harm in reusing bases. So check him over there. Then we've got this guy here. He's got his knife on his back and is equipped with a auto-boater. So, auto-boaters. And as well, just a normal pistol with the shield of the chapter on it. Then we have, move that over to there. We just had the ancient of the army, who's like this. We'll just be holding the flag. His base is done as well. So it's this. Just like a little fuel can, spraying toxins when he's standing up like that. And he's done just to have a different backpack to everyone else. A bit like a chaplain one. Then lastly, of the Conquest dudes that I got, we have got my favourite lieutenant because he's got a sword, and I love swords. So we got this guy here with his sword, and then I would say magnificently made boat pistol made of the jaws of orcs.